we want to just encourage you to just take a look at all of the many, many ways that you can help animals. I mean, they're all over the internet, Facebook, they're covered. And I tell you what, the Arrow Fund is one of the ones that just is really heartbreaking and rewarding at the same time. It's the one that deals with severely abused, neglected, and tortured animals. And we make ourselves so sad, but someone has to look at them, because if you don't look at them, then they don't exist. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Rebecca Eves is going to be with us from the Arrow Fund. In the meantime, let's kick off our Waggin Wednesday hour with my favorite song. This is Nick Pay's official theme of Waggin Wednesday, A Day in the Life of My Dog, on WCHQ 100.9 FM, Crescent Hill Radio.
I wake up 9:30, the sun is shining and I'm feeling fine. I get up, go downstairs and out the back door in the morning air. Walk around my backyard, smell the flowers, shout at passing cars. I lay down right in the grass, happy not to let this moment pass. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best day ever. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best day ever. Hey, let's go for a walk. Nothing fancy, just around the block. When we get back, we'll go inside, but maybe later we can take a ride. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best day ever. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best day ever. Couch and watch TV, and when it's time to go to bed, I'll close my eyes and wait to start again. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best day ever. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best day ever. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best day ever. Whatever the weather, it's gonna be the best. It's gonna be the best day ever. Whatever the weather, it's
Nick
gonna
Pay.
be the best. Gonna be
Day in the Life of My Dog, from Life and Love and Us. And love my Nick Pay. Oh my gosh, he is such an amazing artist and such an amazing guy. To come up with a song like that, he's got to be a great buy, right?
I love
Rebecca
it.
Eves?
I loved it. It's
know.
awesome.
A Day in
It
the
makes
Life
you
of
feel
My Dog.
happy.
It does. It just cheers you up on a rainy day.
That's right, and it is rainy.
It's rainy. I'm so glad you got to be here with us.
I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I was just noticing as I was reading in this publication that comes from one of the big animal rescues.
Yeah.
They're dedicating time to horses. They're dedicating time to dogs and cats and everything else. You guys have always been involved with the most severely abused, tortured, and neglected animals. And
Correct.
people think it's just dogs, but it's really not.
No, we've done cats and bunnies, but I get referrals on all types of abuse. So I work with a lot of other nature groups or horse groups, as far as passing the word on, giving information, giving advice to other counties that don't know what to do in situations. I mean, it's nothing for me to have placed a hog and a hog and 6 chickens and, in great homes that end up at shelters, believe it or not.
I bet until then they were sleeping with you.
The Arrow Fund even at one point got a Angus cow to sanctuary. Thank you. It ended up at the shelter, and I didn't want it to end up, let's give this one a pass. So we found a wonderful farm they have 3 other cows that are just pets, and Liberty Bell is living her life out.
Liberty Bell.
Yeah, Liberty Bell. That's right.
You didn't hear what I said, but
what?
I said it until they got shelter. I bet the chickens and whatever were all sleeping with you.
No, they were actually, I got them directly from the shelter, but hey, I've been known. It's happened. You wouldn't believe it.
Yep. It's absolutely true. So, so how have you been? Are you getting any sleep at all?
Well, we're pretty busy.
Yeah, I know you
even
are.
with the animals that we have in our system, a lot of people, it's a misconception that as soon as we get them out of the emergency hospital, that it's like, oh, they're miraculously healed.
No, and then you have to pay the bill.
Well, then yeah, but
get out of the
they
hospital
go to a
and pay the
secondary
bill.
vet, and then they usually have, if they have orthopedic, they have therapy. If they have heartworm, that's a good 4 months right there.
Sure.
And we pay for the animals in foster care, the food, all the vet care. Everything. We just placed this week an animal that had been in our care for 1.5 years. And thank goodness for the wonderful foster, Alyssa, thank you.
Oh my
but I
gosh.
mean, I'm just saying it's just not a quick fix sometimes for these animals with severe injuries.
No, abused, neglected, and tortured. And that's the part that always just sends me over the edge. Who could do those things?
It is.
To any human or any animal. And you said before that when they start with animals, they're going to eventually progress
and
to humans.
And usually these homes where all this is going on, children are in the home. So that's a point I try and make everywhere. If you see abuse, it's really good that we have laws to protect these animals at this point, because if they're abusing an animal in the home, what are they doing to those children? And those children are growing up watching that.
Yes.
They're either quivering on the inside and not knowing how to deal with it, which is kind of what happened with me. Growing up, and you can you make a choice, or you just conform and you be that way. You turn into that person that doesn't care and doesn't think they have feelings and doesn't respond. A child not responding to a animal crying, that's sad. So we really need to take the animal laws very seriously and listen. We really, we have to care.
You just said that you had a childhood that could have resulted in something much worse happening, and you survived it.
Yeah.
How did you hear the animals crying?
I felt them from the beginning. I mean, if I had a little chihuahua named Twinkle, saved my life, because it wasn't the best of homes.
Yeah.
I mean, they did the best they could, but animals didn't always have it good, and that was kind of almost a way of punishment. And that's the way it is in some homes. Mm-hmm. And, I'm scarred by it, to be honest with you, but it led me in a direction to where I wanted to stand up for those animals. Others were out there, and it's like I really do feel them. I feel what's going on.
You're not an empath.
I think I really am, and I don't want to go off the deep end and sound very off my trotters to some people, but I really it put me in a direction to where I can just keep my mouth shut and feel that forever pain, or make that pain benefit others. Move forward and help others.
Oh, you're obviously doing that. It's interesting to me. I was reading. I always check the Arrow Fund every day. and I want to see the updates, and I want to see who's gone to foster, and I want to see who's gotten their forever home.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so tickled to see that Mama Naomi has gone to foster.
She's here in the Highland area.
Is she really?
Yes. She is thriving. She's up to 38 pounds.
Oh, my God, for a dog that
now,
size.
we will need to, she's in a foster home. We will need to go back in. I just spoke to the surgeon because she was so emaciated.
Yeah.
And she's still, food is a lot to her, okay,
Right.
because she was without it. So when a large-chested animal like a boxer, okay, has that, they sometimes can bloat or have gastric torsion.
Right.
And they're more prone to it now if she's going to inhale food.
Mm-hmm.
So we really have to watch that. But when she gets to be around 50 pounds, the surgeon will go back in and do a gastoplexy, which will tack her stomach in place.
Wow.
And that will prevent bloat or gastric torsion. So we're not done with her. Just as I said,
Go back in for surgery.
It takes time. And she had obstruction surgery. She had several obstructions from eating corn cobs, from being so emaciated, and her little puppies too.
Yeah.
But they're thriving.
I was thinking about them the other day. Ashley and Winona.
Yes.
The names of the puppies. You come up with such great names. And I met them out at...
and Naomi's the mama.
I know.
I know.
I met them out at the wonderful Creasy
Yes.
Mahan Wolfstock. It was so
Yes.
much fun. And they were being pushed around in a little stroller,
Pink
and they had their
stroller.
own
I
personal
know.
fan. And,
I know.
it zipped shut so that the mosquitoes couldn't get to them. And, oh, my God, they just kissed me and kissed
they're
me and kissed me.
adorable.
They were so precious.
They're adorable. They're just adorable.
And they're in foster now.
they're in foster, and
Is
they have
Meg-
little fat bellies.
Meg has Naomi. Who's got the puppies?
Meg has Naomi, and Cheryl
Oh.
Noggle and Rick Jervis, who are... We've got some people that we just put up on a pedestal that are wonderful fosters. We
Yep.
love our fosters. Rick and Cheryl just step up time and time again.
When you foster an animal,
Mm-hmm.
there's a process that is required before you allow a dog to go into a home.
Correct.
Tell us about that
Yes,
process.
and we have a thorough foster application. It's very similar to an adoption application because if you think of it, we're entrusting your dog directly out of the hospital to you.
That's right.
And it's not really to it's just so we can match up what animal could go to your home. We do a home visit. It's mainly to see if you have an animal in your home, how's this animal going to mesh? We want it to be a really great experience for the foster and the animal coming in and the animals you already have. So we do a home visit just for peace of mind for us. We've invested so much time and energy and our donors' money to help these animals. We want to make sure it's a great situation.
Yeah.
So it's really just ensuring happiness for all. It's not,
Continuity for the animal.
Yeah,
You don't want to have to pull them out of a foster home and move them again.
No, right. That's
Yeah.
we really want to move them as they've had so much turmoil in their life. So we really want to make it as less traumatic as possible.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a point blank question that's going to be
Of
hard.
course, Tara.
Of course I am, but this is a really important one because I think that people out in the listening world need to know.
Right.
Give us an estimate of the amount of money that it took. Let's just pick one dog. Just name a dog. Give me a round number of what it took to get that dog to its forever home. I'm just really curious to know
it's a
because
lot.
people have no idea
It's a
what it
lot.
costs to take care of an animal with those kind of injuries.
It's a lot. We'll say Pixel with 3 basically surgeries in one. And I don't have the bill, so this is truly an estimate, but I've done this long enough. I would say before Pixel with therapy going forward, Pixel will probably be between $8,000 and $9,000. Easy.
And I would say he's probably one of the
Least.
less expensive ones.
We just placed one that's been in our care for over a year and a half, and it's probably because of the problems this dog had. He was bound. His feet were bound by duct tape.
Oh, my
His
God.
back legs were bound by duct tape. His mouth was bound by duct tape. And he also had we didn't know, but he had an autoimmune problem. So we've been really going back and forth with meds and everything for a year and a half. And I just placed him yesterday into his forever home. But that's probably probably 15,000.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, and again, easy, and that's an estimate. I haven't added it all up, but it's not cheap. I mean, we take the worst of the worst, so this is what happens.
And this is what you signed up for, but it's also what people who are, in the world also signed up for. It's very important
Correct.
for people to realize in their support of organizations such as yours that it never stops happening.
No.
It's like you don't make your, your point of say, I gave $100 to the
And
Aero Fund.
I'm telling you
awesome.
what. But guess what? We've had a child come up to me with a little brown bag at a school, those little bitty brown bags, and she had 22 pennies in it. That meant as much to us as a huge check, because we appreciate, if it comes from the heart, it comes from the heart, period. And $5 to one person might be 10,000 to another. I mean, as far as what they can spare. So we really appreciate it all.
I appreciate it too, but I still want to make the point that it never stops
it
happening.
never stops,
The
and our bills never stop.
The flow of money out of the Aero Fund to the vets never stops.
And sadly, the request for intake never stops.
Right.
And speaking of which, if we have a second,
sure.
still, I just want to say I'm working on an idea, and everything hasn't fallen into place, but I'm kind of excited.
So it's a secret, as usual, with all your
it's a
ideas.
secret I'm going to spill to you on the radio. No, I've
yay.
put a plea out. We have wonderful pilots.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to put on a song for just a minute,
Sure.
and I'm going to ask you what this secret is before you say it, so I can
say
so
it.
I can react appropriately.
Okay, good.
This is the Navigators on WCHQ.
I've been here before. I recognize this wooden floor. My head is screaming from the fall. I guess I'm paying for comic crime. I didn't learn my mistakes last time. I didn't heed the siren's call. I know I have a lot of debts to pay, and though it seems as though I lost my way, I see you clearly every day. But still, doubts never seem to have enough. Fear keeps trying to beat me up until I haven't got a clue. And
Might have a little bit of rain in our forecast because we've had so little, and then today it seemed like we made up for it all. But it's 76 degrees right now on this station thermometer, which is always a little bit high at 79. But we could get up to 81. Tomorrow is the first day of the FAR. It's the first day of the FAR, the Kentucky State FAR.
Oh,
Looking
wow.
forward to that. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high of 86. Temperature of 87 degrees on Friday, 86 on Saturday, 80 on Sunday, and that's where the rain appears to stop. Now, the biggest chance of showers is going to be 60%. And Rebecca has to take a call. Go ahead and take it. It's okay. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, temperature is a little bit closer to 80. So right now it's mid to upper 80s, which is totally fair weather, and we're just going to expect it to continue. So traffic situation right now, I'm just going to make up stuff while Rebecca answers the phone on the shelter side, because she's got to be prepared for anything. Her phone rings constantly, and she's extremely. Hang on a second. Go back out there. Do you want to tell this story on the air?
Yes, I will.
Okay, get over here and let him talk. Put it on speaker.
Basically,
Put it on speaker.
no, I don't want to do that.
who don't want to do that?
1 second. Basically, I'm on the line right now from a shelter down in Louisiana.
Wow.
They have been hit with the floods so
Yes,
badly.
yes.
If you'll hold on 1 second. And I'm going to take this call real quick and let Tara talk so I can talk to this shelter director. We're going to see if we can possibly pull together a flight to bring 1 or 2 animals. They have been inundated
I'm sure
by the
they have.
floodwaters. And we just feel that with the Aero Fund, we want to reach out and have some compassion. So hold on.
I've seen some pretty extraordinary video of animals being rescued from the floodwaters down in Louisiana. And, of course, the weather has just been incredible. And we're talking about, rainfalls that have exceeded a foot. And I'm looking right now at some of the rainfall that is happening, and it's just incredible. I'm looking at the rescues that are taking place, and that's incredible. And we're just going to send out all our good wishes to the poor folks in Louisiana. I mean, I can't even imagine it. We've had floods here, but nothing like that, and hopefully we never will. While Rebecca does her thing, talking to this amazing shelter, trying to help pull some animals out of it with their wonderful transport pilots. I'm going to go ahead and just play a little Gypsy Switch for you. Black Cat Trail from Sister Moon in 2007. Crescent Hill Radio. That Gypsy Switch. Woo! Black Cat Trail. Rebecca Eves is back in the studio with us, having taken an important phone call from a shelter in Louisiana, which is inundated with flood waters.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I was just looking at the head.